everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Prairie Vintage Jewelry and I am back with another reading. This will be my last reading before I pack all my cards away. I'm very excited to be entering a new chapter in my life, and I am so full of energy today. I do have some very healing energies coming through me. I'm picking up very strong energies here to do this reading for you guys, and felt inspired to do one last reading before I pack these cards away and see them again when I unpack them. So if you want, you can pause this video and pick one of these three piles. You could be drawn to more than one pile. That's fine too. There could be multiple messages here, but I do want to issue a trigger warning. If you are easily triggered or in a state where you are a little sensitive, you may want to go check out another video. In this video, we will be taking a look at either no contact with you and a person. Could be a romantic interest or could just be a person in general that you're in no contact with. And we'll see what Spirit has to say and what the cards are coming up with. And we'll also take a look at if you are in contact with your individual, maybe it is a period where you are wanting to let this person go, or this person is let you go. So either which way, these readings are healing for me, and I'm very excited to see what comes up, and wanted to share it with you guys. So take a look at these three piles, and if one is speaking to you, then that is most likely your pile, and then feel free to bounce around if you were drawn to more than one pile. So I will see you guys shortly. Hello, my beautiful people who picked pile number one. I will list these cards in the description below. This is the Murder of Crows tarot deck, and we will be taking a look at tarot, but we'll also be taking a look at energies of your person with the oracle cards off the hop. But if you did skip the intro, I am Prairie Vintage Jewelry, and I am super excited today to do a reading on either a no contact situation with you and your person, or a situation where you're trying to let go of your person or your person has let you go. This should be a healing reading because I am picking up very strong energies, but if you are easily triggered or are sensitive to topics that may come up, I am not going to be holding back any of these truths, so please feel free to go to another pile or another reading altogether. If it doesn't resonate, chances are it may not be your pile. Again, this may be from a perspective of your person, so what I'm conveying may not sound like something you're aware of unless your person has been completely communicative with you. You might hear some energies for the first time. All right, so we'll start with pile number one, and we will save the guidance cards for the end of this reading. So the beginning will give you an indication on whether this sounds like your situation with your person currently. I'll move the tarot over. All right. So we have the one, the chimpanzee, the black egg, wisdom. We have the mother, light attribute, nutrients, patience, unconditional love, joy in giving birth to life. And then the shadow attributes, smothering or abandoning children, instilling guilt in children for becoming independent. In the chimpanzee, we got use both your intuition and your intellect to solve the problem or get answers to your question. And then we have the boundaries card, which is number 3. Boundaries are sewn into parts of who you are, for they are not to be crossed. And then we have the soulmate card. Yes, this is your soulmate. Okay, so, and then wisdom, learning, joy, art, music. So I am strongly feeling from this pile that this is divine counterpart, either divine masculine, female, just, some people call it the one. This is a relationship in which you're meeting someone or with someone or have been with someone who was made to be in your life for a specific reason. Now, whether you believe in labels, twin flame labels, or what have you, usually, when you're with your karmic partner or soulmate, there is a purpose, and then the purpose kind of lives itself out, and then both parties go on to their next, I guess, relationship. This one, I'm feeling a high vibe that it is romantic, and that it is a divine counterpart. So it is someone who is potentially the one, if you believe in the one. Now, what is going on here is that I'm picking up that you most likely set a boundary either within yourself or communicated this to your person of what it was that you either needed to have from them or wanted for yourself that changed the dynamic of this relationship. But I think from previous to this, your person was just kind of doing their own thing and not really respecting, or maybe respect isn't the right word, but your person wasn't really addressing maybe any of the concerns that you were bringing up within the relationship. So I am seeing this yellow light around the chimpanzee, same around the boundaries. I feel as though, here it says use both your intuition and your intellect. I feel like you've been really in your intuition and using your thought, because you have some clear thought now to be able to set boundaries that you haven't before within this connection. So I'm picking up that for this pile specifically, you were the one that maybe walked away from your person or put in ultimatum or put in a boundary that made your person walk away. So if that doesn't sound like your pile, you might want to go somewhere else. Now, I am picking up that one person here, most likely your person, has been really kind of in the dark with their own emotions. They haven't really been expressing their emotions. They haven't really been living in their emotions. They haven't really been addressing their emotions. They haven't really even acknowledged that there is maybe feelings for some of you guys. And they've just been kind of in this connection / relationship doing, their own thing. I do see that, for you to be in your clarity, you had to set some boundaries straight with your person right away and really remove your emotions from the situation in order to think clearly about what it is that you want, and not be in a codependent type situation with your person. So that's what this connection sounds like to me. If that sounds like your connection, again, please stick around for the tarot or click on another pile if this is not resonating for a lot of you. And we did mention card number 3, so it could very well be indicative of the two parties coming together to create synergy of a third, birthing a third, either a company, a magnificent type relationship, or something to be birthed out of the two of you guys connecting, or it could speak of a third party type situation. And you do have 10 10 10, which is 3 10s here, 33 as well, so 3 could represent something. You could be seeing 33, 333. The third month could be significant, which is March. And you do have 29 here as well. And 29 reduces to 11. So 1111 is significant when it comes to, you know, indicating the twin flames. Also because you have your soulmate card here, and the 1 is why I'm picking up that this is a very significant connection within this relationship here. Okay, so we will get into the tarot right now and take a look at, you know, if this is a no contact, how this, okay, so right off the hop, we have the Hangman upright, which speaks of either someone gaining a better perspective, and I won't get into the full story until I see all the cards, but it can also speak of a lack of commitment from one individual. Okay, so we do have the Death card, and death will speak of an ending. We got another card jumping out, which is the Queen of Wands in reverse. So let's keep going. Thank you, Spirit, for giving us messages, clear and concise, about the energy for pile number 1. And pile number 1, I am so grateful for you to allow me to read your energy today. We do have the Page of Cups upright, and then we have the 10 of Wands upright as well. Spirit, why is the Hangman in reverse here? Can we get a card? Okay, so the 2 of Swords. Can we get a card for the Death card here? We do have the 6 of Swords. Can we get a card for the Queen of Wands in reverse? We've got the High Priestess. And can we get a card clarifying the Page of Cups upright? Got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And a card for the 10 of Wands. It's got the 4 of Wands in reverse. Okay. So I am seeing that this is a very clear message here. Very, very clear that your person was most likely not providing the clarity in a relationship to either commit or define what the relationship was, or make a decision to move forward and progress within the relationship. And you had to make a choice to move away from this connection in order to follow what your intuition was saying or telling you about what it was that you need and what this connection may mean, but at the same time, what it is that you need. So I don't like to get into, you know, obviously my insight on these things, because I should just be reading these cards and that's about it. But what I am picking up heavily is that I feel as though you're in a state where, regardless of knowing, because your intuition knows that this person may have been the one or your significant counterpart, your intuition is telling you that you are much greater than sacrificing yourself in a situation where you're not getting the respect that it is that you feel that you deserve within a connection, and that you had to set boundaries in order to fulfill what it is that you need in a connection, and to listen to your intuition. And, you know, I don't sense that this is manipulative at all, because you can have, you know, individuals sometimes playing games, trying to maybe get a rise out of another individual. What I'm feeling from here is that there were some strong boundaries put on your person to say, hey, this is kind of what it is that I'm going to need, or, you know, tell me what's going on with this connection to define it, or provide commitment, or, you know, give me more information as to whether this is going to the next level. And your person was sitting indecisive, and you've communicated how you felt, you've communicated your feelings, and I'm not picking up that your person either reciprocated these feelings, or at least the timing was not right for your person to communicate to you their feelings. So I do sense that there is passion on both sides, but the fact remains that your person has not been open or as open as they'd like to be because of a timing issue. And they do feel a very heavy burden of holding in all of this desire and this passion, knowing as well that they haven't been able to communicate with you and you've kind of pulled the rug from under them. They're also identifying that maybe they're not as stable as they maybe want to be within themselves, and the stability now is removed from their life that you were potentially providing to this person. You know, with the Four of Wands reversed, it could also speak of just rejection, your person feeling rejected, like they were intending on, you know, maintaining the loops within the unhealthy loops within the connection, and then you just kind of pulling the rug from under them and stopping this unhealthy loop and pattern. And now they feel like, okay, it's off, this is off, the whole, you know, situationship is cut off, and they haven't really fully had a chance to communicate to you how it is that they feel. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing with the first bit here. We will do some more tarot and ask Spirit for some more cards. So we've got the Seven of Wands, and we got the Knight of Wands. So lots of wands in this reading. Very fiery. Maybe both of you guys are fire signs here. We got the King of Cups in the center. We've got Temperance and Spirit. How is a person for pile number 1 feeling? We got the Empress in reverse. Seven of Wands. Spirit, what do we have here? We have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. Three of Pentacles in reverse. And we've got the Queen of Pentacles right under the King of Pentacles. And I dropped a card. I will grab that. It fell horizontal, but I feel as though this probably wanted to fall upright, which is the Ace of Pentacles. And then we've got one more card, which is the Seven of Swords in reverse. Oh boy, this person. Okay, so you see a person here who who's looking back at what it was that they could have done within this connection, and they are feeling bad. So they are feeling bad about maybe not being able to put as much effort or detail or work into the connection as they probably wanted to. And that they definitely do have feelings, and they couldn't find a way to balance their feelings in order to have this connection go to the next level. Now they do see you're coming up in this reading as the Queen of Pentacles, and I just see here that you provided a lot of stability and home-like energy to this person, and they just feel like, you know, all the giving of energy that you had for them, they kind of used it in a way that filled their cup, and it was slightly unfair to you. So it was, in a way, manipulative in a way because they knew they were being stealth-like, or at least they knew what they were doing, but they continued to do it anyway, and you still remain giving and stable for this person. But they are acknowledging that they were not able to reciprocate and provide you with what it was that you required or what you requested in order to move this connection forward. Now, I do want to just take a look at the Murder of Crows book here for how they're describing this Queen of Pentacles, because I am being drawn to this card. And I like to read the actual maker's description because each tarot might have a slightly different description. So here we have for the Queen of Pentacles, the soft swish of silks and velvet whispers as she steps regally into the room. There are many pleasures and comforts to be found in this world, and this noble creature understands the value of peace and luxury. She understands and instructs on the correct forms of poise and nobility. To live well, satisfied, and sharing with those around you is to dwell in your own masterpiece. None are turned away from her doorstep, for her worthy heart is open to all who seek her care. The lowliest beggar will find something waiting for them at her table. Caretaker, opulence, love of comfort, happy home, and shallowness. So, you're clearly a very amazing person here. And your person hasn't really treated you with the utmost of respect that you deserve. But at least your person is not blind to it. They do see it. They do see the lack of effort. They do see that they probably weren't providing you what it was that you were wanting or that you deserved. Now, whether... I am picking up that, you know, they wanted to. It wasn't a matter of not wanting to, but just that the timing was not right for them. But the fact that they haven't communicated to you, you know, has left things unclear, or at least open. That they're unable to, for whatever hang-ups of their own, communicate to you their true feelings. It's kind of left this in limbo land. Okay, so we'll keep pulling some more tarot just to see if we could see some more for pile number 1. Can we get some more for pile number 1's person? I am picking up for a lot of you guys, you are most likely in no contact because, like I said, you were the one that walked away, and your person is now, I guess, realizing that they probably could have put in more effort to save this connection, but weren't in a position to do so. So whether they would change things or not, probably not in their mind. But I think what this person needs to realize is that they are creating their own limitations of what they can and cannot do. And that must be very frustrating to you being in this connection, right? Because only they would know, you know, okay, well, timing, yes, but I feel as though this person is will just keep making excuses for, you know, the reasons why they can't step up into their power. And all you're really asking was for them to step up or step into their power, which I think held a mirror up to this person to see that they were not being their full potential selves within this connection, and that maybe made them close themselves off, scare them, maybe just make them feel like they wanted to pull away, keep things in a loop. So you have the Six of Cups, which can speak again of, you know, the holding the mirror up to the individual. If you guys are divine counterparts, reminiscing in past memories. It looks as though your person's feeling fairly defeated, but I see here with the Nine of Wands, which really can speak of standing their ground or maintaining their position, but their position's coming from a place of where they were probably trying to drive their own agenda, and it could be a manipulative way when you see the Magician reverse, but it can also speak of looking out for number one, themselves, right? With the Five of Cups in reverse, normally Five of Cups would speak of regret, looking back with a lot of remorse. You have, you know, them identifying maybe where they were being selfish, and that, you know, potentially they were the ones that sacrificed this connection or self-sabotaged it. And with the Ten of Pentacles in reverse as well, can speak of family issues, but it can also speak of losing one's either their stability, their wealth, what they've built for themselves. So maybe they felt threatened in this connection that they were going to lose their stability or what they've built for themselves. And that was really holding them back. So we have the Knight of Pentacles with the Ace of Cups, which speaks of a new beginning. But because you have the Judgment card here in reverse, they were ignoring the wake-up calls from the universe, or the wake-up calls to move forward with a new beginning within this connection. And some harsh words were said either by you or your person, or they may see you, for a lot of you, they see you here as the Queen of Swords. I read this one as the Queen of Pentacles, but this was the King of Pentacles. So they definitely saw you, or still see you, as the King of Pentacles, and the cards we laid out underneath this, which speaks of the stability, and that's probably why I was drawn to reading that in the book. So, you know, the King of Pentacles definitely is a stable, safe person, more on a masculine type energy, and maybe you were the one that was driving a lot of the relationship or connection, but now here they're seeing you as the Queen of Swords in reverse, for maybe breaking their heart as they perceive it, or saying some things that was the truth but maybe came across as the bitter truth, which they are still not accepting, or at least they're not listening to the awakening calls of the universe is trying to wake them up to this. You know, this could be the real bitch card, right? Seeing as the real harsh words were said, and maybe they said some harsh words that they regret. And because you have the Queen of Cups here as well, which is also representing you in this reading in reverse, it's like whatever you had said to them might have made them think that you were emotionally unstable, or that you emotionally had this outburst with them, that you know, that your feelings were out there, and they're going to take it as that was your way of telling them that you were not into them or wanting to be with them, and that you were pushing them away, and all you were really doing is breaking that unhealthy loop, you know, of them maybe having a selfish grasp on this connection, or running with their agenda within this connection. I do see that Spirit is trying to communicate with this person to wake them up to the reality of, you know, this Ace of Cups, which is an emotional new beginning, again, whether it be, you know, in this connection or not, is something that this person is going to have to go through to realize their own self-worth. And this can speak of loving oneself or filling one's cup up, which I don't think your person maybe felt worthy enough or love themselves enough in a way to understand their true value, either without manipulation or without trying to control outcome. And now it's kind of your fault because you're the one who communicated the truth and had an emotional outburst or had your emotions out there where they feel they were controlled. You know, meanwhile, they're trying to protect their stability, what they feel they've worked hard for, and feel like it could be at risk or exposed if they allow themselves to commit or move this connection forward. So I don't see right now that this person is looking inward and they're ignoring any sort of real reflection inwards about what it was that maybe they could have done differently or have done, aside from them recognizing the effort that they put in, or the lack of effort that they had put in, right? Because we have this Knight of Wands looking back, right? And he's kind of moving away from and feeling guilty and moving away from having to put forward any sort of emotional effort into this connection, or at least was in that state. But now I think the energy is just more focused on maybe painting you as the bad guy or the person who broke up this connection. Now, if they walked away from you, you know, they're seeing it in their mind that you're the one who walked away from them because of what you said, or some way that you said something that they took as you exposing your feelings, and they did not like how it came out and how it made them feel. So we will get some guidance cards here for pile number 1. We have forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. Now, I do feel for some of you guys, I mean, again, do what you want. Sounds to me like this person might have been pretty damn selfish. So if you're not in a position to forgive this person, I would totally understand it. Because, you know, seeing you guys as the King of Pentacles, chances are you've probably been very solid and forgiving of this person in the past, and now you're setting boundaries. But really, the forgiveness would not even be about them. It'd be forgiveness to yourself. You know, forgive yourself for maybe being blind to this person's, you know, and maybe you weren't blind, maybe you saw it, maybe you were just forgiving of it, but allowing this person to continue maybe not giving you the respect that it is that you needed. Forgive yourself for maybe time lost within this connection if you feel as though you invested and, you know, and now you have heartache over this connection. They definitely, you know, are in a state where I'm not seeing them extending forgiveness. But, you know, if they were watching this, I would tell them, you know, that they would need to consider forgiveness as well for themselves, of maybe how, because some of them are feeling guilty, right? That they were being a little selfish in the connection and kind of trying to control and manipulate this in a way that was only maybe more beneficial to them rather than, you know, being compromising and taking this connection up. But I do feel it's because they are having a hard time fully loving themselves, or, you know, maybe even finding their own self-worth and giving themselves that self-worth. So they've been in this codependent type state. So just forgiving themselves that anything that they've gone through, you know, as a child or in other connections was most likely not their fault, you know, especially early on situations that may have caused them to feel this way. And I would just encourage them to take a look at that to help heal. Again, you know, this isn't a reading to get you to forgive them, because everyone has difficult pasts, and it's really how we manage to move forward. And their actions clearly weren't actions of somebody who was treating respect to another individual, especially the one or the counterpart, until you held the mirror up to really show them, you know, who they were being to you. It's maybe made them cower away, because they are not listening to the judgment, to the awakening that they're being called from the universe. They're blocked, right? It's easier just to find fault than to look within. Mother healing. So this card, you know, really, you can feel from this card a healing energy of just knowing that, you know, mothers forgive. This goes very nice. Mothers forgive, you know, their children, despite what it is that the child may have done. It could be really, really hideous things, but a mother's love is unconditional, right? So like a mother healing is also an unconditional type healing that needs to happen, I think, on both sides. We did have the mother card come up. I believe it was this pile for the archetype, you know, and I just felt like the mother healing could speak to traumas within the childhood upbringing for your person as well. And maybe they need some, you know, healing within their mother figure, or their feminine side might need to be recognized and developed. The caring, loving, healing side to be able to give and receive, and, you know, just acknowledge that that side should be something that should be developed in order to have a healthy, well-balanced energy within yourself as an independent person, but also within a connection in order to sustain something with someone else. You know, it cannot be only about a one-sided, I guess, agenda, or a one-sided, what can I take from this? And yeah, hopefully your person does some reevaluation. And for yourself, I would say, you know, the advice would be to move on with yourself, to be looking for the next thing that's going to give you the respect that you deserve, that understands your boundaries, that you might not even have to be so direct and forceful with boundaries, because it's a natural give and take with an individual. And just because maybe this person felt like the one, or there's intensity here and a lot of passion, you know, with the wands and the orange with the fire, and this is a very difficult situation, but there are like 7 billion people in the world. So, you know, I would say, before even trying to connect with another individual, maybe the healing needs to happen within you, of maybe finding an outlet to release some of this energy, you know, and not focusing so much on this person who was not giving you what it was that you need, you know. And when I say not focusing, regardless, let's say, of the no contact, even just watching this reading, right? Really, who cares? Like, who cares what state of mind this person is at right at this moment, when you should be, well, I say should, but what's going to help you would be to focus on your own self and your own passions and your own hobbies, you know. And if this is a recent breakup or a split or a recent no contact, you know, the last thing one has is energy to even do anything, but to really try to detach yourself from this person will not only build yourself up, but will help you to see things more clearly, and some of maybe the red flags that were missed, or that you allowed, you know, some of the behaviors you allowed, it'll put an end to that coming towards you. So whether it be this person coming towards you again, they won't be coming towards you with these unhealthy loops because your energy has now shifted and you raised vibration of yourself to move past that type of energy. So that's what I'm seeing here for pile number 1. I do thank you guys so much for stopping by this video. If you think this resonated, please give me a like, or you could subscribe. We have 2 more piles to take a look at. If you feel so inclined, you can stick around for those as well. Thank you so much. I'm very grateful. Love and light, and we'll see you guys soon. Hello, pile number 2. I am Prairie Vintage Jewelry, and I am back with a video. You guys picked pile number 2. If you skip the intro, we will be taking a look at your connection, whether you are in no contact or you are letting this person go or they are letting you go. We're going to get some energies about how you or your person may be feeling in this situation, and then we'll pull some tarot and get some guidance. Now, if you are easily triggered, you may want to go to pick a pile altogether, because I will be communicating the truth from spirit using the cards and the energy that I'm picking up here. And if this is not resonating, then just leave the messages behind, maybe go to another pile. But I do intend to get to the bottom of the energies that I am picking up here. So we will read the tarot, but at first we will take a look at some oracle cards to gain the energy about you and your person at this point. So we got the Dead End, and we've got Avenger, light attributes, desire to balance the scales of justice, righteous on behalf of society or oneself. Shadow attribute, restoring to violence in the name of a cause. But the Octopus, practice shape-shifting by altering your physical appearance and mannerisms. The Bat. We got Bee, don't drink all of life from one flower, for there are many to taste and many to explore. Heart-to-heart conversations, honestly discuss your feelings with each other. And then sacred gratitude, revert appreciation prayer. Sorry, reverent. I can read, I swear. Reverent appreciation and prayer. Okay. So you do have the number 50 here, which could be significant, or the number 5, which speaks of changes. Obviously, there is change within this connection if you are in a period of no contact. And then you do have the number 1 here, which can also speak of a new beginning, also independence and individuality. Now, I feel as though this connection just kind of ended. And I also am picking up that for some of you guys, it wasn't that somebody broke up with someone, but it's almost like somebody just ghosted someone or just didn't communicate back to that person. And then the connection just kind of went quiet. And I do pick up here that I think both of you guys weren't completely being honest with one another. Maybe fear of opening up with your feelings, but kept kind of trying at this connection, or at least making an effort to make things work within this connection. I'm sorry, there's sunlight coming in here. I don't know if that's going to help. Probably not, but okay. Okay, so there needed to be some honest, open communication about how individuals are feeling in this connection. I do feel like both you and your person weren't really being completely upfront. I feel like there was a lot of people pleasing from both sides, but one of you guys was more trying to force the connection or force the happiness or force things to go in a certain way, but we're feeling not very thrilled about it, or weren't getting pleasure out of it anyway. I'm also picking up a very specific message for some of you guys, that there's only a certain time that you guys would hang out, like either only at night or only when we go to XYZ. Do I get to see this person? So there's a lot of like limitations on this connection. And then all these limitations just kept kind of building on each other, of how and when you guys can talk, how and when you guys can see each other. Certain things had to be kind of not said, or at least feelings weren't completely communicated, or hush hush, because maybe this was a taboo type maybe relationship or connection. I do like this card. You know, don't drink all of life from one flower, and there are many to taste and many to explore. I kind of feel as though there could be two meanings here, but the one I'm picking up is really a message for you, like kind of addressing that there is better than this connection out there for you. There are better people than investing so much into one person, that there is a lot of potential out there. But I'm also picking up another message for some of you guys, that this person might have been maybe a player type energy, or seeing someone else, or in multiple connections, or in a connection and you were kind of, you know, kept a secret. I do feel like your person likes to play the guilt card too, or make you feel guilty about maybe certain things, like I've done this for you, or I did that, or just kind of stringing you along with these things that they're doing in the favor of the connection or for you, and use that kind of to keep you there, saying I've done all these things in the name of this connection, or because I feel this way about you, to kind of keep you in this. If this sounds like your connection, then we will get into the tarot, because that's really what I'm picking up here. I'm also picking up a very spiritual person. Most likely it's you, but spiritual in the sense that you've been really trying to get a hold of your intuition and what your higher self has been telling you within dreams, or just kind of really trying to focus and more focus on that than this individual. Okay, so you guys picked the Guardian of the Night Tarot, and we will pick some cards here, Spirit. We are so grateful. Can you please show us for pile number 2 their connection, whether they are in no contact or letting their person go, how they may be feeling. We got the Magician in reverse. Got the Six of Swords in reverse. Got the Queen of Cups in reverse. I've got the Nine of Wands upright. One more card, Spirit, for that row. And we've got 2 that came out here. So we got the Star and the Knight of Swords in reverse. So can we get clarity on this Magician in reverse? We've got the Four of Pentacles. Sorry for the reflection, guys. I've got some lighting issues here. All my stuff is packed away. And I'm just kind of doing an impromptu reading right now. So Six of Swords in reverse. We got the Two of Wands upright. clarifying the Queen of Cups in reverse. We got the King of Wands in reverse. The Nine of Wands. I dropped a card. All right, we got the Empress in reverse. And then for the Knight of Swords and the Star in reverse, we've got the Two of Pentacles. Okay, so let's see what we have here. So I am really picking up that that your person is really trying to control things the way they want things to go. They're really hanging on to things how they think should go, what they think this connection means and where this connection should be going. And they're really kind of driving from a place of, you know, lack. Like, if things don't go this way, then they'll feel like there's a sense of lack, and then they'll feel as though they're out of control within this connection. And I feel as though your person is very hot and cold. So they may say one thing and then do another, but their actions are always leaning toward, well, not always, but mostly leaning towards cold actions that don't really support a lot of what they say. So it's hard to believe what this person is telling you or how they feel. Now, they do have a lot of desire and passion and feelings for you, but it seems very all over the place, and they're very emotionally imbalanced because they don't really know how to contain these feelings. They feel very overwhelmed with these feelings. Is very deep for them. They don't know how to express it in a calm, cool way. So it might come out as hot and cold, sporadic, and their actions may not back up what they're saying. And I just feel like the longer you guys are apart, for those of you guys in no contact, the harder it is for them to hang on to hope that this connection will happen. And for those that they've walked away, they kind of feel as though they don't feel hope that they're able to balance this connection and all their emotions in a healthy way that will help to stabilize this connection in a way that's going to help move it forward. That they're still very hot and cold. They're still trying to, you know, gain their bearings in this connection and understand it for what it is. So Spirit, can we get more tarot in the situation for pile number 2's person in this letting them go, or them letting pile number 2 go, or no contact? How are they feeling? We got the 5 of Swords. And we got the 9 of Cups in reverse. So we are sensing someone with guilt here. 7 of Wands. The Fool in reverse. I got the 7 of Pentacles. I got the 8 of Swords in reverse. So significant delays here I'm seeing. Now the Chariot can speak of moving forward. So there is movement. There will be movement with the 8 of Swords, but delayed movement, or maybe not as quickly as you may expect or want. So you got the 7 of Swords, the King of Swords in reverse, and the 5 of Wands. So we got some 5s here, which speak of the challenges, right, and changes within this connection. Swords, a lot of swords energy here, which speaks of, sorry, I read this as the 8 of Wands, the 8 of Swords in reverse. It's not actually speak of delays. This can speak of mental block due to some self-limiting beliefs that the person is either going to let go, and not let go because they've identified their issue, but let go in a way that might turn a blind eye to the reality of what's going on. Yes, so I am still picking up delays within this connection, but it's like it moves and it goes back. So 1 step forward, 2 steps back type energy. So maybe you do get movement, but then it's back and forth. But the 8 of Swords, what I'm really picking up here is that self-limiting belief where, you know, when it's upright is like a mental prison that someone creates with either a belief that they have that doesn't really serve them anymore, and it's kind of more of a figment of their own mental thought that they could just break free from. But the fact that it's reversed can mean, you know, they see themselves out of this mental prison and kind of release themselves. But a lot of times it could just be released in a way that they are still not acknowledging, you know, the truth of the matter, and just kind of move on forward from this at a sacrifice of really digging in deep. I don't see, you know, the High Priestess here, or really for that matter, not a lot of major arcana, which I don't think this person is having a deep awakening, you know, or a hermit moment where they're going in within themselves to reflect, or, you know, the Hierophant card speaking of maybe values that they're carrying or some lessons that need learning. The 5 of Swords, you know, is a challenging card because it can speak of really wronging someone in a way, and then looking back and just saying, you know, okay, I'm right, but at what expense? Was it worth it, right? If they even see that. I don't really see, you know, that this person is reflecting on it, just that has been their attitude and that they've been kind of smug about it, right? The 9 of Cups, you know, upright is the card that speaks of self-gratification, and, you know, it's their wish, the wish card. They get their wish come true. In reverse, it's kind of smug or overdoing it in a way. You know, guilty pleasures or overdoing excess. And I just feel like with the 7 of Swords here too, you know, they're kind of aware of their actions, and they've been defending their actions. With the 7 of Wands, feeling as though maybe there's a lot of outside energies that are trying to change this person is how they're feeling, and they've been defensive about their stance in this relationship, right? And it could be those self-limiting beliefs that were keeping them in this mental prison that they felt they had to defend or explain. The Fool in reverse can speak of, you know, just someone being really foolish or naively just maybe doing something quickly without really any thought. You know, and combined with this Knight of Cups, it's like this overdoing excess, smugness of just do what it is that I want, you know, at the expense of doesn't really matter, you know. So I do see with the King of Swords in reverse, I'm picking up that it's, you know, your person's attitude right now within the connection, beside the 5 of Wands in reverse, which is they feel really challenged to even mentally put themselves in a position that's going to really take a deep, honest look at this connection and what they've done and their onus and their responsibility. They're challenged by this, so they'd rather just not even look at it and continue to do what it is that they do right now. So they're not really putting in that mental reflection like I mentioned with the Hermit or the High Priestess. They're just kind of maybe walking away from even mentally thinking about how maybe they were the ones in the wrong or what they could do different, how they could communicate things differently. They just feel challenged by all of this. And they recognize that they are in some mental anguish, but they refuse to really take a look and put the effort into taking a look at, you know, why it is that they've been doing what they've been doing all along. So we'll read one more row here, I guess, or layer. Spirit, can we please get some more regarding pile number 2's person and this period of no contact and letting go? So we got the World in reverse. I got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. We've got the Ace of Swords upright. Got the Page of Pentacles in reverse. And we got the Three of Pentacles in reverse. And we got the Eight of Pentacles upright. We got the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So I still got to see a lot of pentacles here. Wow. The Hierophant, okay. The High Priestess. Yes, thank you, Spirit. And then we got the Four of Swords. Okay, so Four of Swords in reverse and not upright, which, I mean, if it was upright, it'd be a period of rest after, you know, something like this where there's a breakup and they're healing and they can, you know, use their intuition. But the fact that it's in reverse, I feel like they're not really in tune with their higher self and their intuition and what it is that their intuition and Spirit's trying to tell them. The Hierophant here speaks of really this mental prison of, you know, their beliefs, maybe their religion, and I say religion, but really value, or the way they live their life, the way they've been living their life, of what their philosophy is on life, has been really keeping them kind of trapped. You know, the World in reverse will speak of something hasn't had closure. It hasn't really come to a full end. There's still more to the story that needs to be told and that they want to communicate. But right now, they just feel like they're not in a place that they're able to have that conversation because there's nothing that they can offer. So they feel like they need to be able to offer you either stability in this connection, offer you something in order to come have this conversation, and there's really nothing changed. They can't say, now we can, you know, move to the next stage in this connection. I'm willing to work on this. They don't even want to say that. They just want to have a communication for the sake of having a communication, but they're not sure what it is. I think mostly because they do miss you and they want to talk to you. But, you know, at this point, they don't really understand what they'd be able to offer you. So they're just not having this communication right now. They understand that they would probably need to put in more effort than they're willing to put into this connection in order for this connection to move forward, and that would be a reason why this connection is heading towards the end, if it is coming to an end, because they haven't put in the effort, and that they are the drivers of moving that forward now, that the ball is in their court, that they're going to have to put in the effort, but they don't, at this point, they haven't reflected enough to understand that's something that they want to do. And they're not even taking that healing period. They're kind of just back at what it is that they normally do, which cannot be healthy until they really take a deep look at what their intuition is trying to tell them, so that they can take the time to heal. So I'm picking up for a lot of you guys, this is still fairly fresh. This is a fairly fresh split. with this person. You know, it's very up and down. They're hot and cold. Lots have been said. There needs to be more time apart in order for people to reflect. So for your oracle cards, for advice cards, we have regret. I know that I cannot change the past. So yeah, definitely some words might have been said. Some things might have been done. They're kind of very reactionary too. So maybe a lot of things that they did do was maybe more reactionary than anything, and should, you know, I'm picking up for some of you that they're like, you shouldn't really have taken it personal. They kind of regret making you feel what it is that you feel, especially if they didn't intend on doing that action. It's just kind of something they did. Third eye awakening. Okay, so this is good, you know, because these two cards, like I was saying, we wanted to see the High Priestess and see the Hierophant, to see some sort of self-reflection, some intuition, you know, or some Judgment card, speaking of an awareness. But we do see here that the third eye awakening for your person could certainly still be happening and is still in process of happening, which will help them to understand maybe a little bit deeper in this connection of why it is that they did what they did and where it is that they want to go within this connection and whether they want to put forward effort in this connection. So, I mean, I would just give them the space and time to reflect, and hopefully, you know, the healing opens up their third eye so that they're able to reflect. But this is all I have for pile number 2, and I'd like to thank you guys so much for watching my videos. If this resonated, please hit the subscribe or the like button, and if you want to check out either pile number 1 or pile number 3, please do so. If it resonated at the beginning, was something you were drawn to, then please go check those out. Anyway, thank you so much. Love and light. See you guys soon. Hello, my beautiful pile number 3. If you picked the Grunge Tarot, then this is your pile. The sun is coming in, and I am getting blinded by the light. So I was hoping, you know, to get these readings out before I packed away all my cards, because I am moving. I'm very excited, but I was feeling very much drawn to doing a reading today. And if you skip the intro, we will be taking a look at your connection. And if you are in a period of no contact or in a period of letting your person go or them letting you go, vice versa, then this will be a reading to take a look at energies and feelings of you or your person and whatever spirit wants to tell us of what comes up. So we will pick up on energies to see if this is your pile before we get into the tarot and some advice cards. So we have the Eternal Child, we have Servant. Light attribute is delight in serving others with a free and loving heart, and the Shadow attribute is using the lack of money as an excuse not to move forward with life. So we got the Wolverine. You're a lot tougher than you think you are. Whale. And we got Oak. Don't just look within. Dive deeply into the eternal realms of knowing. Okay. Free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. And Duality. Many meanings. Misunderstanding. Okay. So we have number 27 here. Might be significant for some of you guys. Or number 8. Then we've got 36, which could also be significant. And that also reduces to 8. So we've got a couple of 8s. You know, and 8s could really speak of investing and really putting in effort. And I'm just also picking up that August might be a significant month for some of you guys. I'm picking up that this is a connection where I feel like one person is more mature than the other person. Or at least a little bit more serious and more their demeanor is a little bit more serious, and then you have someone who's more of a maybe immature or just more free-spirited, youthful energy here. Kind of picking up also Peter Pan syndrome. So maybe your person is kind of, I don't know, living life like they are in their youth. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, you have been your person's solid place for a really long time in the connection. Now, if you have a new connection, I'd say for the predominant amount of the connection, you are the one that's been there for your person. If they're in a bad mood, if they are up and down, you've kind of always been there. You're kind of always the one reaching out there for them, making sure that they are taken care of, and you're really the solid one, maybe even more stable one, and not the youthful, immature, childish type one. Now I say childish, that's not for all of you, but just I'm picking up whatever Spirit's telling me here. With the servant attitude here, I feel like that's coming strongly on your behalf, that you have been kind of freely giving into this connection, or at least being there for your person without, you know, any sort of expectation, unconditionally, and just really solid. You know, this tree is even giving me the vibes of a very solid, stable type personality. And even though the eyes are closed, it's like a knowing that you have just known your person and the way your person is and how you kind of need to be in order to support your person. Also picking up that your person's probably gone through a lot of childhood traumas that you're either picking up in their actions, or that they've shared with you in some time. But I'm picking up that this that you guys are right now in a period of, for those of you guys in a period of no contact, is because of a big blow up where there is a misunderstanding. Something happened and your person sees it one way and you see it another way, and now it's caused the misunderstanding. But now the topic at hand might not even be the big issue. It's the fact that how it was handled, and the more you guys tried to resolve it, the more it was uncovered about bigger issues within the connection that's causing more misunderstandings. And now the argument's kind of taken a life of its own, or I guess argument, or this you know, conflict that you guys are recently having. But I do feel like it's been fairly peaceful up until now, because you've let a lot slide. So it could very well be that a lot of these things were just building up and building up and building up on you, and that this was the final straw that you didn't want to just let go like everything else. You know, that you feel like your person might have been taking you for granted a lot, even though you have been the one to give freely and unconditionally. You still recognize that, you know, there's still an onus on the other person to have an equal give and take, or reflect back to you. And this Free Yourself card, I think, speaks more of maybe an energy you're feeling, that you want to just take back control of your life and move forward without having this heavy feeling that you got to be there for this person and kind of be up and down and jump through hoops and do whatever it is that you've been doing for them, because it's exhausting for you, and you're recognizing and realizing your own self-worth and doing a lot of reflecting to try to figure out who you are and how you want to be. So if this sounds like your connection, I am also picking up, that this might have been a surprise to your person as well, or at least from your perspective, when you guys did have a misunderstanding or conversation and other topics were brought in, that they're kind of surprised that you're feeling the way that you're feeling, or some of the things that you brought up. Maybe the fact that you've been the one giving or the one stable, and that it is unconditional, but the fact that you have done all these things and are bringing it to their attention that they're acting, or at least they're pretending to be surprised. And maybe for some of you guys it's infuriating because they actually are surprised and they've been taking you for granted and they don't really acknowledge. And the fact that they haven't seen this, or at least in your eyes they haven't acknowledged and recognized this, is really infuriating after everything that you've done for this person. So if this sounds like your pile, then we'll get into the tarot. If not, you might want to go to another pile. I forgot the trigger warning at the beginning of this, but I do intend on speaking what Spirit is communicating in the energy. So if you are easily triggered, you might not want to listen to the tarot. We will get into the truth of how energies are being picked up within this connection. So Spirit, can we get the messages for pile number 3's person in this period of either no contact or letting each other go, and how the energies are falling right now in this connection? Okay, so we got the King of Pentacles in reverse, and we got the Queen of Pentacles upright. Okay, I'm already getting divine counterpart with your person, but that one person is obviously the more stable one, the other one not so much at this point. The Tower moment in reverse. Then maybe your person's not seeing it as such a big deal as maybe you are, whatever situation is, or this conflict that you guys are having. One person might be thinking it's more than what it is, or not as bad as it is, when the other person's like, are you kidding me? Like, this is the deal breaker. And you got the Five of Pentacles, so someone's certainly feeling out in the cold. I think both of you guys might be feeling a little bit down and out in the cold, and maybe not wanting to talk to one another or swallowing your pride. Now I'm taking as your person not swallowing your pride. In the traditional tarot, you have the church, you know, behind the individuals on the outside. In this case, you have the store that's open. These people are out in the cold. They can go in for shelter, but they're choosing to stay on the outside, whether it be due to ego or pride, or just not ready to go inside and face the music. And then you have the Sun in reverse. So you've got the Two of Cups in reverse. So yeah, an ending of a relationship here. The World in reverse, which can speak to more to come, that an ending hasn't really fully been realized, that a loop still, or cycle still needs to close out, or some closure needs to happen. And you've got the Two of Pentacles in reverse. You've got the Emperor in reverse, and you got the Eight of Cups in reverse. So yeah, I feel like this is fairly fresh, this argument, or at least someone's really realizing the gravity of this, and it could very well be your person. But, you know, if you believe in divine counterparts, usually when you have, you know, two of the same suits in a reading, it speaks of the divine masculine and female. But the fact that the King of Pentacles is reversed, I'm just feeling like you've been the stable one. If you are the Queen of Pentacles, which is how you're presenting in this reading, they've kind of been not so stable in this connection, or giving you the stability that you need, until this Tower moment happened, where, you know, has left both of you guys feeling kind of down and out, but for two different reasons. Maybe the action itself was more hurtful to you, and your person felt like it wasn't that big of a deal, but now they feel down and out and just as bad as you do because of conversations that happened afterwards, or vice versa. Something had happened where they took personal and you were trying to resolve, or didn't see it as the way they saw it happening, and then more conversations happen, or argument took a life of its own, and now both of you guys feel out in the cold and down and out about it, or left out of the other person's life and had to kind of separate, or do the period of no contact. You know, the Sun in reverse, usually the Sun, whether it's upright or down, is usually a pretty powerful card, but In this case, I'm just feeling like there needs to be some clarity on the situation, and that you guys still haven't had the full communication that needs to happen, that there's still some misunderstandings, but because it's so heated, you guys aren't opening that can of worms, that you still have things you need to say and they do that would bring clarity to the situation that's still being held back. And it's causing this Two of Cups reverse, which is, you know, a broken relationship, rejection. But there will need to be some closure for sure. And there needs to be some stability, because right now it feels as though, you know, you've been the one kind of juggling everything, and that you're kind of not looking to repeat the same loops and cycles. And that your person needs to really take control and be, you know, the King of Pentacles and the Emperor, and take control of the situation, but they're kind of being more immature, not taking control, just like I mentioned, that Peter Pan syndrome, just doing, you know, whatever feels kind of good rather than what feels right. And because you have the Eight of Cups too, which would speak of, you know, moving away from a situation or something that isn't healthy, but it's in reverse, which means someone's having a very hard time letting go or walking away from, not the connection, because I think both of you guys might be having a tough time kind of letting each other go, but more of a tough time letting go of what had happened, or what happened, until it's clarified, or you guys communicate that misunderstanding. Hanging on to that situation or that argument or that challenge or that thing that happened, you know, can't really let go of that. You got to resolve it. You're kind of hanging on to it, you or your person. You'll know what's resonating there for you or your person. So Spirit, can we get some more cards here regarding pile number 3's person of no contact or letting each other go? Let's see how they're feeling and where the connection's headed. So you got the Six of Wands in reverse, Seven of Wands upright, Justice, got the Seven of Cups, and you got the Empress, you got the Temperance in reverse, and you got the Six of Swords in reverse, you got the Ten of Cups in reverse, and you got the Eight of Wands in reverse, and we got the Ace of Swords. Okay, so I am seeing, you know, with the Six of Wands, usually speaks of victory, but an upside down could very well mean a defeat. Because you have Justice, it could mean that, you know, an apology is due. Somebody did something wrong, where they, well, how your person might be feeling is somebody did something wrong, somebody did something right, and that, you know, there's an apology that needs to happen, or recognition. But the Six of Wands can also speak to ego, and the fact that it's reversed could be an ego death. So egos need to be kind of put away in order for an apology to happen, or at least to see, you know, someone's own wrongdoings. But right now I feel like one or both of you guys is in this Seven of Wands position, where it's just defending themselves rather than even being able to, you know, drop the ego. There's a lot of, I find, like with the Seven of Cups can speak of lots of options, but it can also speak of unclear. So there's a lot of unclear things that I think came out as a result of this one instance or situation or challenge that happened with that Tower moment, that it opened up a lot of other can of worms. And now things are unclear. But one thing remains clear, I think, within your person, is that they do see you as the Empress and the one that, you know, they love. They do feel a lot of love. There's a lot of passion here with all these wands and cups. And they do really fantasize about having a future with you. Is something they really want. But the fact is that they haven't been putting the right amount of energy into this connection, or effort and energy, and it's been very extreme. So they've been very extreme in this connection, you know, and they're kind of still stuck where they can probably just, you know, move away from all this pain and drama. They're kind of stuck on something that was said or the situation at hand of what had happened. And the Ten of Cups speaks of that, you know, it's like the ultimate emotional fulfillment that you can have within your life. It's an overabundance, right? But the fact that it's reversed, you're just speaking of now potentially losing this opportunity of a lifetime, really, you know, unless this person really takes a look and drops their ego. Got the Eight of Wands in reverse. I just feel like from this Eight of Wands, instead of standing their ground, they're kind of caught off guard. Like this, whatever happened kind of caught them off guard, or whatever you had said caught them off guard. Like they were totally unaware, and having that conversation all made them realize that they could lose their Ten of Cups and like their future with you as the Empress, and they do want to talk to you. They do want to work past this. They want to have conversations and have clarity despite the adversity in the connection. And I think you probably do as well. It's just there's a lot of egos going on right now. So Spirit, can we get another row here of how pile number 3 may be feeling in this connection with their person of no contact, or how their person may be feeling, and where is this headed? So we got the Queen of Wands in reverse, the King of Cups in reverse, the Page of Pentacles upright, Strength in reverse, the Ace of Cups upright, and you got the Nine of Cups in reverse. We've got the Five of Wands clarifying the King of Cups in reverse. We've got the 2 pages here, the Page of Cups in reverse, clarifying the Page of Pentacles, Death under the Strength in reverse, and you've got the Stars. Well, I would say this is probably fairly positive. You know, I do feel as though your person will slowly, eventually move out of the... This is my cat. Will eventually move out of the all over the place energy, or at least they want to move forward with the all over the place energy. They just feel very weak, but I do see with the Strength card in reverse, you know, they're trying to find that energy to do so, to move forward. But I also see it as dropping of the ego in order to have a new emotional beginning within this connection, how they've not been able to do before is kind of what they want. They don't want to relive the past or how they've been. They want a new emotional beginning, but they know that it starts with their own self and being able to drop the ego to be able to start that. You know, and they're not getting their wish fulfillment. They're not getting what it is that they really want unless they do that. Right? So they feel like there's a challenge here with the Five of Wands and the Nine of Cups reversed, that they're not getting their fulfillment because of this challenge of how they've been behaving with this Page of Cups. Even, you know, pages are really immature when it comes to, you know, the court cards. They're kind of like the first court card. And just this page energy is not enough to really support a queen or an empress like they feel that you are. So they're going to have to put an end, right? A death to these page energies, move forward in this connection. And they do have hope, you know, they have hope that they can start this emotional new beginning with you. It's just at this time they know that they have to drop their ego, kill the ego in order to have that communication with you, which will be coming from your person. Clearly, I see. And I think you guys just have to have open communication when things aren't so heated, and these misunderstandings need to be clarified. But I don't see this being a long-term separation. I see this being a very short-term no contact. If you are in no contact, I think things are just still very heated. I would, you know, if you feel encouraged to reach out to your person, you might want to, but I'm just getting from spirit that that might make things even more messed up, and just kind of wait until they get into the state where they're out of their ego so that they can come to you from a place of understanding. So your advice card here is friendship. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. So I'm picking up for a lot of you guys, like I said, that this is a connection that maybe you guys have been together for a very long time, and this is something that's never happened, that's kind of drove you guys apart, but that it is built on a friendship. For those of you guys maybe who, you know, this is a newer connection, I feel like your person's really missing that friendship side of this connection. Even though there is a lot of passion they see as an Empress, they really want that friendship, which will probably be one of the reasons why they might reach out to get that friendship going again in their life. Pattern breaker, yes. So we know with the ego, you know, and that Peter Pan syndrome we talked about, and your person kind of coming in and out and being hot and cold and not really, you know, always in that loop. That pattern's going to have to break in order for them to want to move forward with their Empress, because that is a hope of theirs. And they do recognize they need to have this communication and break this pattern within themselves. You know, I did not see any, hermit or high priestess, just kind of trying to see if they're actually, you know, taking a deep look at their own actions. But I am picking up from this card that they are aware that they have some patterns that need to break, and I'm sure you're aware of maybe some patterns or how you might have been enabling some of their patterns or your own patterns here. But I do feel like you're put some boundaries in place, and you are moving towards, you know, standing your ground of having this person really step up and communicate to you, you know, truths. So this is what I have for pile number 3. I am so blessed to be able to read your energy and your person's energy. Thank you so much. If you like this reading, please leave me a like or subscribe to my channel. Take a look at the other piles. If they look like something you were drawn to, then join us over there.